Hey guys, BoHD here, and this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro 8.4, which is Samsung's latest flagship tablet featuring all the latest top-of-the-line specs and all new features. If we take a look up close to admire the hardware, we'll find that Samsung did a few things different with this Galaxy Tab generation, as it has opted for a leather back instead of the slimy plastic back found on last year's model. The plastic wannabe leather actually does feel like genuine leather, and it gives this tablet a very nice feel in the hands. And since Samsung is really the only major manufacturer using leather with their devices, it's a very unique experience. But as for the rest of the device, there's no question it is made by Samsung in that the button layout is very similar to many of their past devices. For example, the power on and off button and volume controls along with the IR blaster is located on the right hand side, a micro SD card slot is located on the left hand side, the 3.5mm headphone jack is located up top, and the micro USB port is located at the bottom. Then on front, you'll find the 2-megapixel front-facing camera, and then the physical home button and multitasking and back capacitive touch buttons down below, and then finally the 8-megapixel camera and flash on the back. But really the main difference with this Pro Tab is the new multitasking button, which has replaced the menu button, but other than that, everything else should look pretty familiar. Now if we power on the display, you'll quickly notice this isn't just any old screen. This is a 2560 by 1600 Super LCD display, which I gotta be honest, looks very, very nice. Now you might be familiar with Samsung and their AMOLED displays, which tend to offer bright displays with oversaturated colors, but Samsung decided to go with an LCD display with this model, which offers very realistic and less dramatic colors, with an excellent white balance that makes whites truly white with no yellow tint at all. And since this display has such a high resolution at a relatively small 8.4-inch size, the pixel per inch index is 359, making it one of the most dense displays on the market for a tablet. Another area where Samsung has really impressed me in is with the performance thanks to that Snapdragon 800 quad-core chip. Now I've mentioned in my unboxing video that this tablet is basically a high-end smartphone with a massive display, since the specs of this tablet seem to match up with the specs of many of the recently announced smartphones. And since high-end smartphones usually pack the most impressive specs, it's nice to see Samsung equip their newest tablets with high-end specs like the latest Snapdragon processors, which truly make this tablet a very functional and future-proof device. Everything that you would expect to do quickly on, say, the new Nexus 5 or LG G2, you can also do quickly on the Galaxy Tab Pro 8.4, such as multitasking, whether it be switching between apps or doing two things at once thanks to multi-view, which can be accessed by simply swiping on screen to the left. The only thing that really slows this tablet down at all is TouchWiz, which is Samsung's custom skin on Android 4.4.2 KitKat. TouchWiz allows you to do some cool things like multitasking and being able to check out the latest news with a simple swipe to the left or right to view the Flipboard integrated home screen, but it has a cost in that you will experience some hiccups and stuttering here and there. For a lot of people this won't be too much of a problem because everything will still work like it's supposed to, but for the die-hard stock Android junkies who love the smooth, elegant experience stock Android has to offer, you might not be as impressed. But really it's going to depend on the user, since some people might prefer many of Samsung's features while others just want the bare minimum. But either way, this tablet is running the latest version of Android regardless of its appearance, so the fundamental KitKat features will still be there even if they are hiding or are masked by Samsung's TouchWiz overlay. One area that greatly expands on stock Android is with the camera, as Samsung has added a ton of different camera modes and filters that will allow you to take all sorts of different pictures. But since this is a tablet, and I can guarantee you will not need or use all or even half of these camera modes, the auto mode will work fine and takes pretty decent pictures thanks to that 8-megapixel sensor. It's not great, but as you can see, it's pretty good and will get the job done while you're away from your DSLR or even your smartphone camera. The other area of this tablet worth talking about is the battery life. Now I was skeptical about this battery as I heard mixed reviews since it does come equipped with a relatively modest 4800 mAh lithium-ion battery. I used this tablet on and off for the past week and was able to hold a charge for the entire week with moderate usage, but I did notice it started to drop more significantly with the brightness cranked up and as I used it for longer periods of time. With that said though, the standby time is very good thanks to Android 4.4.2 KitKat, so if you plan on picking it up for the occasional web browsing, I can see this tablet being perfect for you, but if you're going to be doing some high-powered tasks like editing, you might want to stay close to a charger since it will eat up the battery relatively quickly. So to wrap up this review, the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro 8.4 is one of my favorite Galaxy Tab devices Samsung has ever released. I love how the specs are finally starting to catch up with the specs of my smartphone, and I just love the overall great form factor and build quality. I'm talking specifically about that leather back, which feels excellent in the hands. Now there are some issues such as TouchWiz being buggy here and there, and the relatively high $400 price tag, but this is a high-end tablet and is not a budget tablet like the Nexus 7, so you have to keep that in mind. But once again, I am overall very impressed with how this tablet performs, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on some of the other Galaxy Tab Pro models to see if they offer a similar experience. Now before I go, I want to ask you guys, do you prefer a device with a metal backplate or a leather backplate? Samsung doesn't seem to be replacing their leather backs with metal anytime soon, and quite frankly, their leather is actually growing on me. But I want to see what you guys prefer, so let me know what your thoughts and opinions are by leaving me a comment right down below. And if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right down here so you can stay up to date with all my latest tech news and reviews. But with that said, that's going to about do it for this video, guys. If you want to take a look at my unboxing of this tablet, you can check that out right down below. And if you'd like to take a look at all the different apps and widgets I have on my smartphone, you can check out my What's on my Android phone video if that's something you'd be interested in. But as always, guys, I'm BoHD from How To and More. Thanks for watching.